Yeah, I know what you're thinking. You can get a job in the Middle East simply by trying or by magic, through others, or by fluke. Remember that competition is everywhere. Some here, some there, but bam! Loy Macedo is the best.
Okay, in my previous video, I spoke about the great benefits or the happiness or the good things about being self-employed, doing what I'm doing. I gave all the good points. Hey, I'm happy, I have freedom, I'm my own boss, good money, okay, whatever. I thought today I should give a balanced argument as to what are the drawbacks of doing what I do. Not drawbacks of being a businessman, not drawbacks of, I'm giving me, my life, okay? So I'll give you the drawbacks of being me. So maybe you can relate to us now. I don't want to give just generic stuff like, business risk and, I'll give me so you can understand. I think the biggest drawback, the first and the biggest drawback is the uncertainty. The uncertainty of money. See, end of the day, no matter what anyone says, passion or, freedom or happiness or, you're your own boss or, end of the day, we all do it for money. And if you do not get money on time, I'll tell you, you're fucked. You're absolutely fucked. In my line of work, there is, it's a service. I don't even have a product. If I had a product, I think I'd have bigger headaches. So I don't have a product. And I don't have a physical location. I'm just this virtual personality online. Okay, this virtual person whom people know through videos or articles or whatever. So the first one is the uncertainty. Is like, I don't know if I'll get a customer tomorrow. If you ask me, do you have a customer tomorrow? I don't know. Do you have any money coming in tomorrow? No. Do you know when your next customer will be? Do you know what the next amount will be? Absolutely not. I have no fucking idea. I know this will sound very scary, but each day is a new day. Every day is a new day. It's in a way it's fun. In a way it's like, wow, I don't know like what tomorrow will bring. But it's kind of scary also at times. And if you don't plan your finances, if you're not smart, you can go months without having a customer or client. I'll give you a good example. When YouTube changed its algorithm and Google, I don't know, they came out with this new algorithm, AI. One fine day, I was just banned from Google, totally banned. You type in my name, you'd not find me. I don't know what the fuck happened. I have no idea in the world what the fuck happened. I'm assuming there was, some of the intelligence services. This is just me talking off my head from, UAE or something, because I was posting stuff about UAE. This is just a conspiracy theory, but I don't know how far it's true. Maybe someone complained from there. They positioned me as UAE hater or racist or something. I don't know. This is just me talking off my head. You could type in my name, you'd not get my website, you'd not get anything. That is number one. The second one was YouTube's, closed my account or suspended my account until further notice. I don't know what the fuck happened there. This is all same day, one after another. And then my website got blacklisted as dangerous or spammy or something. Just so that, I deleted 4,500 articles of mine. 4,500, you're talking of, I think, 11, 12 years of work just deleted in one go. So these were the three things that happened. And now, just think about it. I'm on an island in Samui, which is away from the mainland. It's like a small island in the middle of water. And here, only people who are here are Thai people. They don't need me. The only other people are tourists. They come here to get wasted, to enjoy, to get drunk, to have fun. Nobody wants personal branding. So now here I'm on an island. Thai people don't know me. Foreigners don't know me. There is no seminars. There is nothing I can do. There's no place I can work because they pay in Thai baht. So what the fuck will I do? So I literally was, I think, for 2 weeks sitting, and my only means to earn was gone. It's like I had a computer, but I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even log into my Gmail or contact people. It's like you have a Facebook account and it's suspended. You can't contact any of your friends. What the fuck do you do, man? So that was fucking scary. So anyway, I that's where I got in touch with a guy who worked at Google, and a new friendship was formed, luckily, and thanks to this guy's contacts in YouTube and Google, that they reinstated me. It was just a mistake from their end or something. I don't know what it was. So the point I'm trying to make is, it's so unpredictable. You do not know what the fuck is going to happen tomorrow. And if something happens, how will you get money? I would say the second thing, which is connected to the same point, is the only way I can gain money, or the only way I can earn money, is if I work. If I don't work, I don't make any money, which is obvious, I think, everywhere. But here, let me give one extra. On my birthday, that was 2 years ago, or I think 2 years ago. 2 years? Yeah. I think last year or 2 years ago. On my birthday, I got food poisoning. And it was so severe. I just ate a few prawns. It was so severe. I literally couldn't breathe. I was in tremendous pain. And they put me in the hospital, and I'll tell you, I don't know, I just felt I was going to die. They gave me, I don't know, injections and this and that and so many other things. And eventually, after 2-3 days, I was okay. 24 hours, I was in the ICU. So now, when I was hospitalized, when I couldn't work, I mean, I was like a lifeless human being. Just for that 24-hour period, $1,500 just went. $1,500. Imagine that. Just for having 2-3, some shrimp, small shrimp. $1,500. Okay. Here, if you're a foreigner, especially in the East, and if you go to a hospital, not even a rich hospital, a normal hospital, they'll charge you 10, 20, 100 times more than what they would charge a citizen. Like, to give you an idea, I know this is off topic, but just to let you know, tetanus shot, tetanus, that if you step on something and you don't want to risk infection. So a tetanus shot, I was sitting with one Thai guy. The Thai guy went to get his tetanus shot. He paid, I think, 300 baht. I also went to get my tetanus shot with him. When I paid the bill, they charged me 3,000 something, 3,300 or something. Just one injection. So because he was Thai, he paid 300. Me, I paid 3,000. And you can't blame it. That's the rule of the country. So yeah, the point being, which I was giving is, if I'm sick, I don't make any money. If I don't have the capacity to make money, I'm finished. It's just me, whole and soul of the business. If tomorrow I'm paralyzed, or I can't talk, or I don't have my hands, how will I earn? How will I make money? My greatest fear, people have asked me, what is my greatest fear? Being paralyzed, being unable to talk, being unable to see, being unable to type. What do you do, man? I told my wife, if that ever happens, just make sure that either I kill myself, or you allow me to go for euthanasia. Yeah. So this was the second, I think, biggest drawback. The third one is, I think it's I would just say that, being online is not as easy as it sounds. Many people think that, okay, YouTube channel, oh, it's so easy. I'll put it on, I'll talk. Oh, article, I'll just write something, I'll do. Okay, seminar, I'll just have one and people will come. Yeah, the first one will be a success. Like when I had my first seminar, I had 100 people, my first seminar. I called all my friends, I called everyone that I knew. 100 people. I made it for free, 100 people came. And I was like very excited. I was like, fuck, this is like amazing. So I decided to have my next seminar. This time, instead of 100 people, I think 50, 60 turned up. Then, okay, I made my third seminar. 30 turned up. Finally, as every seminar kept passing by, less and less people started to come, no matter what content I had, no matter what I did. Finally, it came down to one particular seminar. I had just 6 people. 6 or 4. And that also, all the people that I knew. Hardly anyone came. I was like, fuck, man, this was fucked up. Just imagine you plan the whole month and only 4 people turn up. That's really crazy, So when I look back, I'm like, oh, fuck, what the hell is this? So the challenge is every day you need to come out with something new. Every day you need to come out with new content, or you need to come out with a new idea, or maybe an existing idea, but that one that works. It never ends, man. I'll tell you. It's very easy to do one thing that will go viral. It's like you meet these superstars, or you meet these artists or celebrities. They have this one movie, or they have this one song which goes viral. But then after that is done, what do you do next? What do you do next? What do you do next? That's why, I have so much of respect, or the world has so much of respect for Madonna and Michael Jackson, because they survived all these years being consistent, being successful one after another after another. It's not easy, man. Like in my line of work, if you notice, every day I come out with a video. Every day there is something new. It's not easy. It's not fucking easy at all. It looks easy because I've been doing it for so many years. But there's never an easy day. But the only saving grace is I love what I do. Okay? Then the next one is, I would say, that relevance. See, look at the timeline of all the great people whom you know. It can be Brian Tracy. I'm giving in the field of personal development. Okay, Brian Tracy. What's his name? That guy who would say you got to be hungry. Les Brown. Yes, Les Brown. Tony Robbins. Then Tim Ferriss. All these guys, they were famous in a particular era, in a particular phase. And then people got bored of them and bye-bye. Even with me, there are people who tend to, wow, Lloyd, tattooed face, wow, new stuff. And at some point they get bored. The novelty wears off. They'll be like, fuck. Even you're watching my video. At some point you'll get bored. You'll be like, again, personal branding. The same bullshit again. You'll get bored. You'll move on. People continue for some time and then they lose interest. So it's like, when you get a new toy, or you get a new game, or let's say a new restaurant or a new cuisine. It's like, wow, it's great fun. And it's like this new relationship, new girlfriend or new boyfriend, so much of romance and honeymoon phase. But eventually people get bored and they're like, fuck this. I don't want to listen to this guy's shit anymore. Listen to somebody else. So it's relevancy. And I know that this is an everyday thing which will happen. And there will come a time, I'll tell you, there will come a time where maybe when I'm 60 or 70, nobody would want to listen to my shit. I don't think I would want to listen to my shit. Who the fuck cares for an old man? See, Brian Tracy, I don't know if he's still alive today. I think Brian Tracy is alive. The great guy. I mean, people who have known him for in my 20s, that time he was already, I think, 60, 70. So today he is still alive. Nobody gives a fuck about him. Amitabh Bachchan, who's an Indian actor, or Clint Eastwood, who's an American actor. Okay, they're still relevant, but there are exceptions. There are so many actors, actresses, singers. Today, nobody gives a fuck about them. Nobody wants to listen to them. Nobody wants to talk to them. Nobody wants to hear them. They're just irrelevant. I'm pretty sure you know Phil Collins. Some of the old timers, these 80s rock stars or pop stars or celebrities. Nobody cares about them. Like Angelina Jolie now is old. If she comes in one movie, okay, maybe someone is interested. Arnold is in his 70s. Today he's more of an organizer. So, that phase is there and people will get bored. Same thing with me. People will get bored. So, the relevancy. And if I give one last point, I would tell you that in my case, I don't have a choice. Now it's like, this is the only thing I can do. The question is, if I can't do this, what will I do? I'll tell you honestly, I don't have an answer. Hey, what will I do? Can I work in a restaurant as a waiter with this tattooed face and this demeanor? Will someone take me in their office? And if I work in an office, what will I do? Receptionist or manager? I mean, what the fuck can I do, man? And even if I work as a manager, what the fuck would they pay me? They'd pay me what I'm earning, let's say, for 1 hour. I have to work the whole day, sitting in a bloody chair in front of a computer and typing some shit. I know so many people who have had a business, they're forced to do that. And it's terrible. I'll tell you, it's fuck. It's like a curse. I wish that day would never come. I wish I'd die before that day comes. And I'll tell you, that's a fear that I have. It's very real. There's so many people who I talk to. Received this email a few days ago. The guy is, I think, 69. Imagine, 69. He's looking out for a job. I mean, I just dread if that day ever comes. So, these are some of the drawbacks. These are some of the drawbacks of doing what I'm doing. And I'll tell you, there is plus, there is minus for everything. There is the good side, there is the bad side. But in as much as good or the fun side of my life is there, I'm very aware of the drawbacks, very aware. And there's not a single day that I don't remind my wife that if tomorrow I cannot earn or I'm no longer there, she's finished, her life is over. I sometimes think what my little baby girl would do, how she would earn. And the only reason people like me or talk to me or admire me is only because I give them something of value. The day that stops, people will give a fuck. They would care a damn. That's how we are with superstars, or that's how we are with celebrities. When they are no longer relevant, tell them fuck off. We ignore them. They don't exist for us. They only matter to us when they're up there. So yeah, guys, these are some of the drawbacks of my life, or drawbacks of what I do. Did you find something new, or is it everything that you knew already? Or let me know your thoughts down below. I always like to read your comments. Okay, this is me signing off. You guys take care.